Hi all, Goda Govinda. This is Madhavi Lasya. Welcome to my ML channel. Hope you all had a very good week as well as like happy weekend to everyone. With respect to my health, my allergies are almost gone by taking steams and everything together. Today we are going to discuss about some parenting skills which we can follow, as there are no hard and fast rule when it comes to parenting. I hope my voice is audible, but let me check. Okay. So basically, today we are going to focus on the parenting things, that is effective parenting skills, which can be applied in our day to day life, which I learned from my colleagues as well as from, from the daycare school where I'm working, or, from a practical experience, right? Or how I would want my son to grow up into a meaningful citizen. So today we are going to discuss about various parenting skills. I'm pretty sure it would be helpful, but please understand that this is not the hard and fast rule. So don't get upset or get mad at me if it did not work, because parenting is depending upon the child. But one thing we could do is trying to encourage the child in a positive way and see which would work. So that's all we could do. um, so the first thing, I would say, right from the baby is born, or taking care of the baby right from the time the family is expecting a baby, we all have so much of expectations as a new parents, or a again becoming a second parent again, or becoming parents again. There are already almost so much of expectations, and each babies are completely different, even though we are already a parents, right? But thank god I have only one baby as of now, and I'm pretty sure we won't go for any other babies, so that is for sure. I mean, right from the baby was born, till they're teenagers, we always have the struggles, and also even after they get married or get along with their life, also we always have that struggle, right? So today we are going to discuss about how to overcome all these struggles, because we are so attached, emotionally attached with them. So sometimes we're just choking them with our affection, and I'm pretty sure everybody would agree to it. If not, then I don't know, maybe Lord has to make you agree to that. And then how we could be more practical at the same time, improve our social emotional skills, as well as improve our kids social emotional skills, to make them more independent rather than dependent upon us or their spouses, etc. So that is what today's topic is about. It could be sometimes vigorous, but please bear with me, because I am more of a practical person. I'm more of a spiritual practical person, I would like to say, because this is how it worked in olden days as well. So the starting from the baby was born, I know, many people would have gone through multiple times, they could get a connect with me, where in-laws or parents would always be interfering with what the baby has to do, what the baby has not to do, and everything. Of course, yeah, the first time mom, or the mom again, we all have a different experiences with respect to handling babies and stuff. But thing what we have to understand is, as a mom, mom has a very good instinct, even the dad has a good instinct about the baby. So I don't know who all would be listening to this, so I'm just starting from the baby till teens. So you can fast forward the video, or you can listen it, so you could share it with your grandkids, or your friends who are expecting and everything. So basically, first of all, it is better to have a schedule, define a schedule for a newborn baby as well. At the same time, we have to be alert and look out for or watch out for any other thing. Say for example, if the baby is scheduled to have milk, breast milk or formula every 2 hours, means if the baby started crying 1.5 hours, that means of course the baby is hungry, right? I mean, at that time we cannot be saying oh, every 2 hours I have to feed that. It's not 2 hours, yeah, that is stupidity. But if the baby is crying within a 1 hour of feeding is done, or feeding is complete, then it's something else. Or we can try feeding the baby and then see how it is, so those are the basic things which we could follow. Exactly, we cannot follow the schedules, but if we follow the schedules and maintain the schedules, their habits as well as their character or attitude, get developed better way. So why I'm saying is about the character and attitude, because basically, like, to me, character and attitude, like, speak first. Despite the sorry, I would say, like, discipline and good manners speak first than the character. Why? Because, like, if I'm going to an office, and the first day at my office, and I have a meeting to attend, and the meeting is at 10, let's say that, and if I am in the, if I already logged in or joined the meeting at 9:55 itself, then whoever might not know, they would have a good impression on me, saying like, oh yes, like, he's a good charactered person, she's a good charactered person because she joined 5 minutes earlier, right? So, like, so our characters stand out, sorry, our disciplines and good manners stand out even before a character does. I'm not saying character does not stand out, but it will take time for people to understand our nature and character. But these good disciplines and manners and all will start exhibiting themselves even before our characters could. So basically, if the kids are on a schedule, one thing is, like, the new parents, or the second time parents, or third time parents, whatever it is, they have their own time to do other household chores. I mean, if they do not get help, then, we cannot do anything. Then we have to be on schedule. At the same time, we should not be just clinging onto the schedule and thinking like, oh yeah, it's just 1.5 hours, still have half an hour. So that is a stupidity, right? So that thing. Another thing is, like, as the kid grows, like, if you feel like you could not produce enough milk, that's okay. I mean, I know the guilt would be there. I know, like, everybody will chastise you, or, like, everybody will mock at you. That is okay. I mean, as long as the kid is healthy, only the doctor has to decide, like, whether the kids are healthy or not. If your baby, if your baby is certified with doctor as, yes, she or he is healthy, then, like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, then you can just ignore all those comments, because one thing works for one kid, one thing does not. Because I mean, my mom herself is an example, because for me, she fed me mother's milk till I was 3.5 years, but for my brother, she couldn't fed him. So just 1 month itself, she started on a formula. But, like, at that point of time, she made a right decision, because, like, she really wants nutrients to be supplied to the kid, rather than, arguing, or, discussing about whether I need to, like, do. Of course, we can try to increase our breast milk, but if that is not working out for you, then that's okay. Like, as a parent, or as a in-laws, or as a parents of the new parents, like, we all need to understand, and let's not mock at others, right? And another thing is, like, if you're working mom, like, feel proud of a feel proud about it. And also, if you're just state of mom too, feel proud about it. I mean, like, either ways, like, the society has always some comments to pass on. Like, because I'm a working mom, I left my son when he was 10 weeks old, and, I got mixed comments, but at my office, all of my colleagues, like, encouraged me, supported me throughout, because, like, because it's a good thing, because you are saving for the child's future, and your child will be very proud of you. I mean, so of course guilt feeling would be there, but, like, there are certain situations, family situations, which we cannot avoid it. So that is also there, right? So if you're stay-at-home mom for some reason to take care of the kid, that is also a very good decision. So whichever decision you're making, like, just don't feel guilty, because I felt the mom's guilt, a lot of time. And then, like, it took many years for me to overcome it. So, like, I don't want any new moms, or, like, moms of teens, who are going through certain things, to feel the guilt at all. And then as the kids grows, like, let's not try to pamper the kid by saying, like, oh yes, the kid asked, so I gave. No, so that is not good. And as well as the praising also, it's not good at all the times. Genuine and specific praise for everything is good, but no means no sometimes, and they need to understand. So say, for example, if they are getting adamant of getting something, just stop it at the right age itself. If not now, then when, right? So those habits, we have to cultivate it since a childhood. And if no candies means no candies, no matter what, like, whether it's grandparents, or the school teachers, or the storekeepers, if they are giving us, if the kid is asking, I want a more sticker, and we're saying no means, then the kid has to understand no. And even these the sales associates also should understand no. Similarly, grandparents also should understand, like, if it is no, means it's only for the good. Like, I know grandparents like, spoil their grandkids a lot, but at the same time, like, there are other ways of showing affections towards the grandkids. because by making them a good disciplined citizens, or future citizens, that is the one of the best way to show their affection, rather than spoiling them or pampering them by giving whatever they like is not the right way to do it. I know many grandparents would just be mad at me, but think about it from your perspective. When you're raising a kid, everything happen as per your choice, right? So now the generations are generations nowadays generations are really very advanced and broad minded. So in that case, we have to adjust ourselves, and raising a good kids is more important than pampering them for unnecessary reasons, right? And then include, please include life skills, saying self care, compassion, creating a shopping list. Involve them in creating a shopping list with them. And then we have to tell them to respect everyone, no matter what. And then no judging. I know it's difficult, but tell them we should not judge others irrespective of race, ethnicity, or whatever it is. Just teach them, and let's teach them to be respectful about others, how to be show hospitality to others when somebody visit our home. And then involve them in all your shopping list, creating everything. Even teach them how to do household chores, because those sort of things are very very life skills. And compassion is very very important. So grandparents or parents can show and can nurture the kid in this way, and they can show their affections in this way, because those things are really really important. Because right now the world is full of cruelty. People are showing hatred towards each other, right? So why can't we create a society where kids are very nurtured and very matured? And example, I'm not trying to boost myself as a good mom, but I know despite many people put me down, I train my son to cook. He knows basic cooking. He can cook regular breakfast, especially when I'm around, and he can do household chores like laundry, and he knows how to fold the clothes, and of course cleaning the room. He's still getting used to it, right? And he helps me every time. Whenever I tell him I need your help, he'll always be there. He'll get so excited when I tell him I need help. So that's give them more independence and the self trust. And also that gives them a more encouragement towards a child, think oh yeah, mommy is calling me to help her, that means I am a better person than her, or I can do it, that's why she's asking me to help. And it also teaches them compassion, how to help others. And also involving them in day-to-day life, when you're doing budgeting, please involve your kids. It might sound so funny, but I involve my son to tell them, hey, what, monthly expenses, we are spending so and so much of money. Teach them the value of money. I ask him to create the shopping list. I'll just tell him, I need these items, can you please make a list of it? And he'll feel so excited. And whenever I go for shopping, grocery shopping or whatever it is, I will take him along, or my husband will take him along. And then he would decide what vegetables he would tell us, I need this, I need that, mommy you told me you need this, mommy you told me you need that, and everything. So it was really nice to see him more mature and also compassion person. And teach your kids how to cook. Those are all daily routines which kids has to do it irrespective of gender. It was all the olden days where people would say only girls has to cook, boys do not. I mean, there's all stupid things. Whether irrespective of the gender, the kids should know cooking, so that when they grow alone. Because right now, when after the high school, they always go and live in a dormitory. In that case, they have to learn how to cook, right? That's a basic thing, basic life skill which everybody has to know. It will make them more independent. And also, while doing a shopping list with them, I will take him along, and I will ask him, I will give him choices hey, what, I can only spend $10 or $20. So 20 I ask him to choose, okay, there are 3 clothes which comes under $20 or 20 or less. You choose which one you want, and he'll make a choice. So give them choices. It's not like we cannot impose everything at them. At the same time, we cannot be giving them choices. No means at times we have to be very strict, and then we have to tell them, instead of no, we have to tell them on the positive things, what he can do or how to overcome it. Of course, kids would throw tantrums. Sometimes we have to ignore them, and then not to give attention. Sometimes we have to give attention to them, to tell them, hey, what, I am there. Sometimes let them throw tantrums, just give them a hug. And if they are lying, that's okay. I mean, one thing I learned from one of the videos is one person very nicely explained, when somebody lied, and then if they come and tell you lied, don't punish the kid. Instead, give them a hug, and then praise the kid, stating what, you are very true to me, so I love it. So next time onwards, the kids would feel okay, what, being truthful is rewarding. So being truthful is very very rewarding. So they will be very truthful to you, and they'll never try to hide. But rather, if we follow the other approach, the vice versa, where we are trying to punish the kid for lying them, then they'll start getting afraid and panicky, and they'll start thinking lying will make them mad or give me punishment, so I don't want to go through punishment. Some kids will started lying and they'll say like that is the truth, I'm doing it, which is completely wrong. And then character traits is very very important, like showing empathy to others, like most of the people who would celebrate birthday, I'm not against it, but at the same time we have to give back to the society by helping the homeless people, or doing a charity work towards any non-profit organization, to teach them, so that like to teach them how blissful their life is, how blessed we are when compared to others, right? So that will give them a self satisfaction, self motivation, and they'll not um, they'll not be showing tantrums. Sometimes they'll feel self content with what they have, and they'll not be greedy, so that is more important. And then the star charts, reward charts, that is also very very important. And especially please don't compare, let it be a healthy comparison, but let's not compare even between siblings or between the friends, because that will make them discouraged, right? And have them define their own goals and schedules every day, and let them analyze whether I did it or not. And you just tell them, hey, you know what, you did you do this, like I want to check. Then they'll be, oh yeah, I did this, okay good, I trust you. So that sense of level will give them everything, that encouragement and support, and think like, oh yeah, they are respecting me. Because most of the times my son would say like, mommy, you're not respecting my opinion. I would say like, why I'm not respecting your opinion, can you please think through it? And then he would say like, sometimes if he's saying I need ice cream, I would say no initially. Then he would say, you're not respecting my opinion. Then I would say, why your mom is not respecting your opinion, think through it. Then he would say, I know that, because yeah, I know ice cream is not good for health, that's why you're saying no, and you're not respecting my opinion. Then I tell him it has nothing to do with respecting opinion, it's about making a good choice. So I'm giving you an option to make good choice. You already know the ice cream is not good for health. I mean, once in a while is fine, but even once in a while also we'll try to cut it down, and then we'll prepare a homemade thing. How about that? So I'll swap it with them, and then I'll try to make him a good choice. So making the kids to be more independent is nothing but making them to make a good choice. They have to analyze the situation and then make them a good choice, rather than dependent on us. It will never help them, because they're just going to be with us with just 2 decades, right? With the current generation, after the high school they would just go to college, right? And I mean, respect of whichever state we are, they would be traveling, they'll be in dormitory. In those times we'll not be there with them, so we have to make them more independent. At the same time, they need to have the life skills, as well as set their own goals and schedules. At the same time, make their good choices, and they should also have that connection with us, with a firm conviction or firm trust on us, saying like, okay, stating that, okay, you know what, I did a mistake, but if I tell my parents, they'll not yell at me, rather than they will encourage me, and they'll tell them how I could overcome that. I know it is difficult, but if we start all these things since a childhood, even right now, even if your kids are teenagers, that's okay. I mean, it's not too late, we can start off them. And then we can, another example I would say, um, uh, when their birthday celebrations or anything, we can just take them to do some charity work, or with any non-profit organization, or we can just take a day off from the office and spend time with them. But if we could not do it, just inform them at the school and daycare, or whichever age group they are, or just send a small note in their lunch every day. I mean, in the lunch, to make them a special day, or just just drop off a cupcakes from Walmart or whatever it is, and then make them as a special day. Even the small things every day which we do will give them more confidence and trust upon us, and they'll be more open to us. Because I know many kids would always, many teens parents always complain like, I don't know what they are doing, because the reason is we are not allowing the kids to express their opinion. That is because we are not, first of all, listening to them. Because it is just it is just the fact that we have been imposed that listening is a covered thing, whereas talking back or arguing is a great thing. No, that's not the right thing. Listening is just it's just a vice versa. Listening is a very brave activity, whereas talking back is not a brave activity. Of course, talking, we have to talk back when the time is right, but before that we have to just listen. We have to listen first, and then put ourselves in that other person's shoes, and then take a deep breath. Okay, that person is angry, we cannot do anything, my kid is not in the right mood, okay fine. And then slowly just try to convince them and say okay, you know what, this is what happens, mommy cannot be with your birthday, I'm so sorry. And there's nothing wrong in apologizing to the kid. So like that is what is more important in raising a kid, like to become a more independent, and then like having a social life skills, like they need to know how to cook, and they should stop like thinking like they're boys, they should not cook, and girls have to cook. They should not have those all this mentality, especially in this current generation. And another thing I always like sympathetic towards the opinion is like boys should not cry and girls should cry. I mean, that is all a stupid thing. If we have emotions, like express it out, right? When somebody is crying, first of all we have to just hug them and listen to them, rather than giving our opinion immediately. And you should just like, because that is a warmth, and they need some shoulders to cry on. So that is with respect to kids and even us also, right? Sometimes we feel like our opinions are not being heard, and that's why we're getting frustrated, and all these mental health problems, stress, depression are coming. So why can't we change it, right, from ourselves? Why can't we be as a living ambassador? Because like that will show our kids, oh, you know what, my parents are always like that, so why can't I try? And they would just like exhibit the same behavior. So that is what is important. And another thing, please teach them what is good touch and bad touch right from childhood itself. Because why I'm saying is, I am a victim of Me Too movement. I know what is meant by Me Too, right? Like inappropriate touches and molesting. I am a victim of Me Too because I don't know, my parents did not teach me like what is the difference between good touch and bad touch, right? Teach your kids like between good touch and bad touch. And then like tell them, okay, it's okay if somebody bullies you at the school, tell the teacher and come and inform me, I will take action, and all those things. So that kind of a support and encouragement is always needed for the kids. Even if you have a teen kids, this is not the, I mean, it's not too late. Let's try to like take a step back, because when we are teens, like how did we, what we expected from our parents, the same way our kids are expecting from us, right? So it's time for us to revamp our skills to match with their skills, so that they are more open to us. If they're more open to us, that can solve most of the problems, anything with respect to teenage relationship, the tantrums, the teenagers issues and everything. And then like let's reduce the screen time, rather than spend time with them as a family activity. You can involve the kids in cooking or in doing household chores. That's what I would do. I'm not saying I'm a perfect mom or anything like that, but that's what I would do. And also like when the kids grow up, and if they don't want to get married, that's okay. I mean, like there's no hard and fast rule like kid has to get married or anything. Or if they want to get married, like if they decide, if the as the couple, if your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law and a daughter or anybody else, I think they don't want to have kids, that's okay. If they want to follow sync DINK, that means single income no kids, double income no kids, that's okay. If your daughter-in-law or son-in-law wants to work, do not want to work, that's okay. It's their thing. If they want to have multiple kids, that's okay. Because see, right now that we are approaching towards a world where there are supply versus demand is very higher. Like the demand is too much for all natural resources, whereas supply is very very less. The demand is too much with respect to the population, right? And there are so many kids are in the orphanages. Like we can foster them, we can adopt them. There's nothing wrong in adoption. Even in spiritual life also, Sita Devi was adopted by Janaka. Like in those days it's there. I mean, those are all like examples given to us. Like if you don't have a baby, that's okay, you can try IVF. But at the same time, there are so many kids out there who needs that family love and affection. And don't worry about like how the kid would be based on the genes. Like examples are our kids. Our kids are like us? No, right? I mean, they are very mature, right? So like character has nothing to do with genes, of course, certain percent amount. But if we like inculcate good habits right from the beginning, they would become a good citizen. So there's nothing wrong in like adopting a kid or fostering a kid. And then like after they get married, like at least this is for us, like after they get married, let's enjoy our empty nesting. I know like many people would have 401k, or they might have to stay with them. That is okay. I mean, like let's not interfere into their personal lives, like how like in our grandparents time, like where they would interfere. The mother-in-law will be very strict, and so like very nosy and everything. Let's break that stereotype. Like God has given us money, so why can't we stay? If you have money, stay alone if you have money, and leave them, let them take care of their life together, right? Otherwise, like what is the purpose of getting married to them? And if they as a couple decide not to have kids, that's okay, it's their life. Let's focus on us. And then like that's again another time which Lord has given it to us to focus on us. Because like we have been like running like a robot between the kids for 2 decades, right? So let's stop worrying about them and let's take care of them. And like how I'm not encouraging nuclear family or anything, but sometimes we need that gap. Even great Upanyasagar Velugudi Krishnan Swami has mentioned it many times, like, sometimes we need that like gap between, like we need a space between the kids and us once they get married. Like we can meet often and everything, right? I mean, like, but if you don't have any other choice, that's okay. If your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law is passing comments, that's okay. Like, that is where we have to head towards, right? I mean, like, let's not berate or start a fight with them, or try to be that, the stereotypic mother-in-law or in-laws to anybody. Like, that is again, we have to be independent, and I'm pretty sure everybody would be working, everybody would be having 401k. So that is okay. We have 401k, let's enjoy our life. Let them take care of themselves, because they are all grown up adults, right? 18 means they're adults, so they can take care of themselves. But that's where, like, this 2 decades we can train them to be independent adults who has, who can serve with passion, respect others, give without expecting, and also having the social emotional skills, life skills, including cooking and everything, so that they understands, they understands irrespective of gender, anybody could do anything. And then, like, sharing the household chores. Even right now also, if you're a husband or if you're a dad, please start sharing the household chores. If you don't know, that's okay. You can start by cleaning the vessels, sweeping the floor, or whatever it is. I know many of them would be doing it, but some of them are still hesitant. So those little things will, like, will showcase us as a ambassador for the kids for the future. So that is all I have for a good parenting. Again, I'm stating, like, not everything would work, but I guess if we start right now, it's not too late. Even if you have teen kids, this would really help us. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for all the views. It's really very encouraging and supporting to me. And please email me if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the weekend. Goda Govinda.